Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. What's up? It's your boy Paul Miranda coming live and from the box. It's the Real Talk Nation trying to give you something new, something fresh. Definitely keeping it different from all the rest. Y'all know how we do, right? Listen, today, man, I'm hoping we're going to have we're going to try to rekindle some of the past, man, some of the glory days of my past, a lot of your past out there. Got two guys, man. I'm hoping Ron had something that might have just come up on him, so he might not be able to join us. I do want to say going forth that he will come on. These two guys will come on regularly, and we'll have them on a couple of times to talk about what they saw at some of the tournaments and so forth. I don't know if you guys played in the DFW area or not, but back in our day, man, we had critics, real critics in the stands. These two guys were probably, two of the best in the business. They kept it real, but they kept it funny too. And that was one of the greatest things that I remember. A lot of you guys don't know anything about Redbird Recreation Center, which is now Thurgood Marshall Recreation Center over there by Bahama Breeze. The Way, those apartments called The Way. Y'all remember them, right? I might be saying my age, but man, it used to be a real happening spot. We used to have a college league out there that was sanctioned, a real live summer league that was sanctioned. And, just great times. I remember those times. So part of what I want to do with this show, the Real Talk Nation show, right? I want to talk about basketball, the roots of basketball. I want to talk about, where the basketball game is today, the state of a union, if you will, of where it's at today. I think, you got to be able to do that. You have to be able to go back and talk to guys from the streets, from the gyms, that kind of paved the way, really, in essence, guys like Ron Nelson and my man St. Louis Ken. I know his name is Kelvin Peterson, y'all, but we call him St. Louis, and so I can't get out of not calling him what I know him by, if you will. Matter of fact, let me get him on here. Let me send him his invite right quick, y'all. And I like trying to throw these invites on. I ain't got all professional like the Chop Shop is with Mr. Hatter. Robert Hatter does a great job. He understands all this stuff. I'm trying to do this by myself. I know he has a crew, but I'm an entrepreneur. Oh, never mind. I can't say that. I don't want to say that, right? But let me get him on right quick. Let me give him his invite right fast, and then we'll go from there. Hang on a second. Let me just grab his name. What's St. Louis? Why I can't find this text message right now, as you guys been on Twitter today. Twitter's been kind of busy for your boy over here, dealing with this international crises, if you will, in AAU or select level, club basketball right now, and so I've been having to address a lot of that right now. So, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about that later on. But let me send this invite out. Bear with me 1 second. This is going to be and appropriately known right now, y'all. Pastor Keon. Now he's gonna come on and give us a basketball sermon, if you will. I'm telling you, great stuff here. And we're gonna go back probably to a lot of names that a lot of y'all don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you on that, KP. Hang on a second. hotmail.com. But I'm going to be honest with you, man. I'm real excited about these two guys, saying, hey, man, we're in on this. I got an idea that I think a lot of you are gonna enjoy. One thing that I loved about the Chop Shop, y'all, and I don't want to say I'm trying to pattern my game or my show after the Chop Shop, but one of the things that I really, really admire about them is the way they, Robert Hatter just keeps us dying laughing, and but at the same time, Robert Hatter also provides us with powerful insight on what we need to do as a community. But the laughter part is what I enjoy the most, and that's why I had been trying to think. I can be funny at times. I'm not funny all the time, but I can be funny in sometime. But man, I need a guy. I need a group of guys, and that's why I was saying bringing Ron, a serious dude, by the way. But St. Louis Ken has always been a fun dude, and just the conversations that they have about whether or not a guy can play or a kid can play or not is so entertaining. And I want to share that with you guys from time to time, so you can kind of see where I come from. You know what I'm saying? The kind of basketball that I know that we're used to here in the DFW. To me, the real way of playing basketball. I'm also going to have I'm gonna introduce Ken for a little bit, and then I'm gonna bring on another couple of guests, and then we're gonna rock and roll through that thing. So let them know. Just sent the invite. All right, so this weekend, just to go into that a little bit, man, I want to send special shout outs to Keon Williams. Keon Williams, that's Quion. Keon Williams. Mansfield Legacy, played with Southern Assault. Awesome performance that he had, especially in the championship game this weekend against Drive Nation. Shout out to my dudes. I had a couple of dudes in this tournament, man, and I kind of been ruffling their feathers a little bit, kind of pushing their buttons. One of these guys is definitely one of my all mentioned guys from this tournament from Drive Nation. Jordan Walsh of Faith Family, plays with Drive Nation. I've been kind of ruffling his feathers, getting him to be a little bit more, how do you say, bring it the game, man. Bring it every time instead of sometimes just going through the motions. And he's definitely one of the kids that I have enjoyed watching throughout his young career and so forth, hoping that he goes to play on, to college and beyond and so forth. And I just don't like seeing kids not give what they normally can give. You know what I'm saying? So, so every now and then I feel like I gotta push some buttons, and that kid really answered the bell. As far as his performance this week was off the chain. Got a little I don't know if I can say a little revenge, but he let me just make sure we're good right here. Hang on one second. Hold on. Let me do this right quick. So let's make sure we're straight. I don't know if I'm good on here or not. Wifey's not here today. Bear with me, y'all. Wifey's not here today. All right. So it is working. Okay. So we're good there. I'm just trying to make sure everything is good with the sound and everything. Because, again, I'm not a professional at this. And, again, I'm a one-man band. And speaking of which, here he is, my dude, the one and only St. Louis Ken, y'all. Give it up to him. St. Louis Ken, what's up, man?
What's up, Doc?
All right. So I can't hear you right now. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you well.
Hang on a second. Let me see. Let me go in here and look at this right quick.
What I need to do, babe? I need your help.
Y'all, give it up to us. St. Louis kid, what's up, man?
What's up?
All right, there we go. There we go. Now I hear you. Okay, so I gotta tweak my little sound thing right here, St. Louis.
Okay, good to see you, Paul.
All right, so what I need for you to do, turn your volume down.
Okay.
So hopefully you can you hear me? Okay. All right, we good there. We good.
I can hear you.
All right, so I got too many things open, I think. Hang on a second. Let me shut my stuff down. We got that off. Bear with me 1 second, Ken. Yeah, we're good. Hang on. There we go. Now let's go get in it. Okay, somehow I still can't. Ken, you there? You know what? Hang on. Ken, say something for me. Okay, hang on a second, Ken. Hang on. I just got to make sure we got the sound going right. Hang on a second. Boom, boom, boom.
You come turn this light on behind me. Turn this light on behind me. Over here.
All right, Ken, you there? Ken, can you hear me? There's something going on with my sound. Ken, can you hear me?
Are you talking to me?
No, he's talking to Ken.
St. Louis, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you well.
All right, here we go. All right, so, I always call you St. Louis Ken for some reason. I know it's Kelvin. Why do we call you St. Louis Ken, bro? Or was I always just making that mistake of adding the Ken into it?
Yeah, I think you was added the Ken in there, man.
Damn, am I that bad? Jesus.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
Brother man, I don't know if Ron is going to be able to come on with us tonight.
Right.
He has something going on at the church this evening. So right now it's going to be me, you, and some friends.
That's fine.
And I know, because I know you know what you're doing in this thing, bro. So I ain't worried about that. I also got you some help coming along the way. So it ain't gonna be just me and you. I got a couple other guys that's gonna join us a little bit. We're gonna try to have a little barbershop talk feel for this kind of conversation today. All right. And as I said before you came on, part of my why about doing this podcast was always to bring, basketball to the forefront, to the masses. You follow what I'm trying to say? I want people to know the game, not just what we see in the NBA, not just what we see in college, what we see in high school, what we see in the gyms for the AAU, middle school puppies and all that. We're going all the way. We're talking everything about basketball right now. You know what I'm saying? And one of the things that I felt was very important for me to do is to make sure that I introduce, my roots, which is kind of somewhat your roots. Redbird Rec was the mecca of DFW basketball right now. A lot of people don't know that, so I want to re-educate. You understand what I'm saying? The masses right now, and know what that was all about, and know. I want people to know what really drove me into doing this right now. I'm an evaluator of talent now. You know what I'm saying? Which coincidentally, St. Louis, pat yourself on the back on this, because I feel like what I'm doing now these days, you and Ron and other dudes in the gym been doing this for years, bro.
Right.
Talk to me on that, man. Talk about what you've seen versus what you see today, man. What's the difference between the 80s and 70s and then maybe the 90s, right, to where we're at today? Give me your version of it, man.
Well, I think it's a little bit more individual star driven. Even though we were star driven back then, you had to earn your respect. Now you're already anointed before you hardly hit the floor, and like I came here in the early 80s, right out of college, playing D1 basketball. And I didn't get into draft, so I always loved the city, and overseas wasn't paying that much at the time. You know, it was some offers.
Right.
So I moved right across the street from Redbird, and Redbird is where I got initiated. Gillum was working there, Ron was up there, some of the old heads, and I saw a lot of guys that I played junior college here with and D1 against, and you had to earn your respect. You know, I got the nickname St. Louis from Gillum. You know, I was shooting some deep J. People say, I don't know who this is, but I heard you from St. Louis. So that kind of stuck with me for the last 32 years. People have been knowing me for years, don't know my real name.
Yeah.
And back then, everybody came to the Bird, from Karl Malone. We watched Larry grow up. There were pros, there was thugs, there was late bloomers, there was all kind of players. But when you got to the gym, you had to earn your respect there. You know, you wasn't gonna just get it just because of where you played at, what level you was on. It wasn't about 5-star, 4-star. You had to prove it when you hit the floor. So it was a lot more competitive, man.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. Let me do a couple of reference checks right quick. You brought up some good names in that little piece right there, man. You said Gillum. A lot of people don't know Alex Gillum, former coach of Roosevelt, D.W. Carter, right? David W. Carter, whatever.
Right. Former Hall of Famer. I mean, Hall of Globetrotter.
Hall of Globetrotter. Yep.
Out of Houston.
Great dude. Almost was like a second father for me, and probably a lot of guys. You know what I'm saying? And a great dude, man. The other guy you brought up, Larry. You know, a lot of people don't know who Larry is, bro. You know, Larry Johnson. You know, Grandmama. New York Knicks, Skyline, you know, UNLV, Skyline, you know, great piece. Larry Johnson, one of the greatest brothers that ever came out of Dallas. I'm going to go on and just hit that in the nail right now, not just because of what he did on the floor, y'all, but what he did even after that. You know what I'm saying? You know, as a pro player, man, how he started the league that we were talking about, a sanctioned summer league. And it was hot like fish grease. I mean, man, you talking about it was a place to be, man. Pretty women, all the studs, all the dudes that thought they had it going on. You know, it was better than going to the club down there back in them days. We don't have that these days, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, you know, when I say this, right, I need people like you. You know what I'm saying? To talk about those days so these people understand what exactly I'm trying to get at, because I want to try to, you know, I don't like to say I want to relive my past, if you will. I do want to say I want to bring back some of that, those good times, man. Go ahead.
You need to know where you come from before you know where you're going. And with Larry, I would say, yeah, he was one of the greats to come out of here, but he wasn't the only. I would say he was one of the most successful. But you had other guys before him who were just as talented, like Scales and Burns and Kenny Williams. Dallas had a bunch of talent. Some guys developed late, some guys developed early, some guys were notable, some didn't get the notoriety. You look at guys like Darryl Joe, who didn't start in high school, wound up taking LSU to the Sweet 16, got his scholarship in the league, you know. So it's just so much talent came through here, man, you know. And that's why it's so tough to just say who was the best or who was the coldest. It comes down to what a coach likes and the time and when they were playing. Luther Burks became a great player, but he was a late bloomer.
Sweet Lou, yes.
And Carl Wright was one of the great athletes to come out of here.
No doubt. Roosevelt, he went on to play at Philadelphia.
His brother was a Hall of Fame at A&M. It's just so much. Look at this Sasser family. We can go on and on and on and on.
Talk about that Sasser family. Talk about it. Give me something,
well,
Gerald or Jason?
The old man was a stud. Whoa. And the old man was a stud at Henderson County. He got all the junior college records. He just didn't really fit the North Texas program, but he was a super talent, could shoot the ball as well as any of them. And his father played for the St. Louis Hawks, man. Scored 100 points in one game. So
100
talent is running the Sasser's kind of family. Yeah, 100 points like Will Chamberlain, his father.
Hey. And
the
what year was that? What round of year was that?
He has a different last name.
No, I'm saying what year? What year around was that?
Oh, it was before I was born. It was in the 50s and 40s.
Here's why I say that. Here's why I asked you that, St. Louis. There wasn't no 3-point line then back in them days. And they scored 100 points.
A lot of talent come here. Some of the guys I didn't see. I hear about Sammy Irving and a lot of talent. So it's so much talent come here that I didn't know. I got here in the late 80s. A lot of guys didn't come back home, didn't play, but some of them did. But it's just a ton of talent that came from Dallas and Fort Worth, you know.
Yes.
And basically, we talking about Oak Cliff. We ain't mentioned North Dallas, you know. So
yeah, talk about them. Give me some guys. Give me some guys, man, from Fort Worth, man. Daniels, Derrick Daniels,
Daryl Broder, Kenna Lyons, all time he scored in North Texas State, you know, and second round draft choice. You had Daryl Broder. You had so many of them. Clevis Hubbard. Some of them I played against the junior college. Big Babe. You had a whole bunch of talent coming out that way.
Oliver Miller. Oliver Miller.
I played with his big brother Slim. He was decent. You know, it's a lot of Shaws, you know, bunch of them. Just, man, I don't want to miss nobody, but it was so much talent. And they were coming from everywhere coming to the Bird. Waxahachie. Then you got the Garland boys, you know, that been out the range of the, you know, you had Cato and Mookie and
Cato Armstrong, Mookie Blaylock. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man. So much. And then we didn't even mention the Hutch boys, Spud and Mookie and Ricky Grace and Alvin Reed and so many talent, man. So, you know, I don't want to, man, you start calling names, and Sock just had a ton loads of them, you know. I mean, greatest
sock player all time.
Ooh, that's too tough. You got Keon Williams led the nation in rebound. You got David Burns played for the St. Louis and played for Denver. You got a ton of young ones that played in the NBA. You got some old ones that was there. Charles McMillan had a 46-inch vertical. So you just got it depends on what you like, you know?
Yeah.
Tony Moore. I played with. There's so many great talents come out of Sock, man. It's ridiculous. There's no way you can get 50 at the top. Depends on what you like.
No doubt.
They had a bunch of big NBA. I don't know. But them just some of the guys that I kind of know and play with. Grasshopper, you know, played at Tulsa. Didn't even play hardly in high school. Went to junior college. You know, it's just so many. And he got nephews, Quentin Ross and them. You know, it's just.
Yes, Quentin Ross went to Kimball High School.
Yeah, then he got Katie is his kinfolk. You know.
Yeah. All right, so let me put you on pause on that thought right there. Put you on pause for that right now. All these years, man, I've been knowing you. Conversation was always been, who's better than you? Who's better than me? This dude better than me? Was this dude better than me? Can he do this? Is he better than me? It always came back to, is he better than me? Right?
Well, that's
so St. Louis, this is the first night that I've ever heard you say you wouldn't make no pros. You know, now you ain't never said you did make the pros, but this is the first time I've ever heard that you say
this is about DFW. This ain't about St. Louis. And I
get that. Now, but it's an educational piece to all this. You understand?
Yeah, because all the ones I played against, you know, I did my thing. So it ain't like,
what,
you know.
All right, so let me ask you this, St. Louis. What could you have done different? What do you think, if you could do it all over again, what would you do different?
I think I would have been a little bit more disciplined in class because I never would have went to junior college.
No doubt.
And then when I got to D1, because I was a starter, but I had averaged 25 my sophomore year in junior college, but they didn't want me to score. They had two other scorers who had been playing Division I. If I had just been satisfied with playing defense because I was on the floor, understanding they're going to see you anyway, I would have been fine. But I didn't listen. I thought somebody was taking something away from me. But anytime you getting time on the floor, you got to shut your mouth and do what you call to do, man, on that level, you know. So if I did it differently, I definitely would have went junior college because I didn't go to class like I should. Okay. I would definitely take care of my books, and I would, as long as I'm playing, I would have kept my mouth shut, you know. Basketball is about a chemistry and fitting the man's system, you know. It's not about who's the best. I was killing everybody, but that's not what he wanted. You got to give him what he wants. You know, I was expendable. I had 3 guys who got drafted the same height I was on my D1 team. And I probably thought I was better than all of them, but you know, when they had already and I was coming out of junior college.
Yeah.
And they one of them was averaging 25, the other one was averaging 22. D1. So, and I was starting, but I was the defensive man. But you know, you just got to play your role, man. I had a brother who was a super offensive talent and went before me, my friend Third Kill. He backed up Bird and McHale at Boston, but he had a different mentality because his brother was a little older and he taught him how to just got to play your role. He went over to the Philippines and scored 71 on Ike Williams. So you got to do what you called to do, man, you know, on that level, because the college is a coach's game.
Okay.
The college is a player's game. The NBA is a player's game, but you got to get in there, you know. So it's a psychology to go with this, man.
Okay.
It's a psychology to go with all this.
I'm gonna bounce some names off you right quick. Give me your thoughts on them. All right. You know, I asked you about who was the best sock player. Give me the best Kimball Knight, baby, because Kimball.
Well, you know, when you talk Kimball, you know, it's a lot of talent came out of Kimball, man. Yeah. Some of them were mentally prepared at an early age because they had uncles and fathers who played on the big stage.
Okay.
Some of them were just raw talent and only had a mother, so they didn't really develop and catch on that fast. Okay. You had so many in between the 6 foot and 6'7" range that was so close, man. You know. Okay. I would say the Sasser boys probably were the most successful, along with Q Ross. He played 15 years in the NBA, 12.
No doubt.
But it was them Gullies was good. Even back in the days, Big Southern was tough. You know, it's just so many talent, man. And Kimball started winning, and they had a great system. Yeah. So, you know, it was a forward system. It wasn't a guard system. If you was a wing player and a shooter.
Marvin Washington.
He was a talent, a super talent, nice athlete, great talent.
You know, them kind of guys.
But you had thugs who never excelled on the floor, like John, Big John, who could bounce out the gym. You had Virgil, who could lock up and defend. You had my boy like Scooter, who became good late.
Anthony Virgil. Yeah.
Scooter became real tough when he got out of college because nobody guarded him in the pro-am. Became a man. Fudge had a basketball IQ. He wasn't the
Jeffrey Hot Fudge.
Tough. You had a lot of, you know, Leonard Perry, Eric Kelly. You had a lot. I saw them guys grow up. So there was some talent, you know. And then you had all them Keenan. You saw. And I remember Dwayne Brown shoot from half court. You had a lot of talent, man.
Dwayne Brown and Mark Brown, the two brothers. Yeah,
them Sasser boys. It's a lot of talent started coming.
Carl Love, man. What you think, Carl Love, man?
Well, you know, that's my cat. You know, he's an undersized me, You know, he was a smart, but he was an athlete. So you put him on the floor of baseball, football, he gonna play, he gonna perform.
Yes, sir.
But he didn't fit that size that they were looking for. He was 6'4", and they wanted him back then. See, now they just put the best players on the floor. Back then, you had to fit a size criteria. He wasn't 6'6". So the game has changed. But there's no best Kimball Knight. There's a bunch of great Kimball Knights. It's like saying who's the GOAT. There's no such thing. Basketball got 5 positions. It comes down to which one you value the most.
Well, I'm glad you said that, man. I like that. Give me the best Dallas Lincoln player.
Whoo! They had some studs. Go back to my year. When I come out in 79, they had a brother named Columbus come out in 79 in the Viro with Mookie and them. When we played them, he was a McDonald All-American.
Oh, wow.
And we didn't even got this, you know, I mean, they've had some, and you know, they had that super team. They had Willie Davis before the end. They got studs I don't really know. That's the South Dallas area, but they had a ton of talent, man. I didn't even mention West Dallas. They had some talent. Hollywood and all the other boys.
Yeah.
Willie Black, they had stuff, man. So Skyline, you know, Mark Holland. You had Mayo coach some studs. The one went out of Chris Conway, my boy, he could play. Late bloomer, but a nice
CJ Miles
in high school, huh?
CJ Miles. Did you ever get to see him?
And see, basically, you're naming the successful ones, and you have to understand everybody who was successful don't make them the best. They were the more successful, but that doesn't mean they were necessarily the best. Now,
right. I want to give a shout out to JD Mayo. You brought his name up, Coach Mayo. I see him every year at state down at UIL for the state championships, man, and great dude. Still doing this thing called basketball right now, and great coach. Speaking of coaches, man, and I know we said we were just talking about we're going to just really deal with the players. Some of the best coaches, man, that you've had a pleasure of watching.
I think Snoop Father had an outstanding system.
Mm-hmm.
If you're talking about old school, he was outstanding system he ran that Snoop was able to come and win a couple state championships just by following that role. You know, Mayo has had some great success. The young coach is Sock, he's done well.
Mays.
Mays done well. I love the way love coaches because of his discipline in this generation. And Ferris is a brilliant coach over there at Lancaster. He does an excellent job.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And then you got the legend out in Fort Worth. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Who's retired? There's some good coaches. I mean, I think if there was not anything, it was coaches because there was so much talent to pull from. I think Dyers can coach. I think he coaches more on the college level and then let a lot of great talent get away. I always knew Mason Jones was a tremendous talent. But
Mason Jones, yes, Arkansas.
So, that coaching is, it's all about system. And you have to cater your game to what you have. And most of them had good systems, but
So let me ask you this. We're gonna go back to Redbird. Your funniest story that you can give me of all time from Redbird.
Probably Larry telling me around, watch this, Ron St. Louis. He threw it off the wall and dunked it backwards. And I told him then he gone, man. He was at Odessa, We had never seen nothing like that. He threw the ball off the wall and dunked it backwards with two hands. And we've never seen anything like
Nothing like that. I agree.
At that time, he was looking like a young Zion,
Yeah.
And then Dennis Rodman, we watched him because he was a late bloomer. I remember we were at Martin Luther King, and he got a little pub in Southeast, but didn't nobody really see his potential because he wasn't an offensive player. He was missing layups and running the floor like a gazelle. And I told them then, when they see him, we're gonna hear about him. But we never knew he was gonna be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
And then one more with Karl Malone. I had just left Oklahoma City, and I met Karl up at Redbird. And I told him, man, Wayman Tisdale gonna kill you.
Oklahoma,
the year before. And I was telling him how he wasn't ready and Wayman was gonna destroy him. And I saw him about four years ago downtown. He was in Dallas with his daughter. He said, St. Louis, tell my daughter what you told me Tisdale was gonna do to me. And at that time it was a wash because he's a Hall of Famer, second all-time leading scorer in the history of the NBA. So I had some funny moments, if you're talking about just players. And that's some other stuff we can talk about because it was hooks and thugs up at Redbird too now,
No doubt. I'll give you one of my fondest memories of all time up there. And I don't know if you were there that day. I'm sure you was, but I used to be the do-it-all kind of dude for Coach Gill with the league, we got to do the paperwork, registration. We got to make sure, except for touching the money. I didn't get to touch the money.
Oh, you talking about the College Summer League?
The College Summer League, right?
Okay, and that came later. Okay.
Yeah. So, and I was just thinking about, anything overall for you. You good on that? But I used to also have to double as a referee, as one of the referees. Okay. I don't know if you remember that or not. And I was thinking, there's this big dude, man, from Seagoville. And I don't know if you remember him. I know the name already. I'm just going to see if you remember him. And I mean, he was bigger than you back in the days. And man, if you don't give me my calls, I'm going to kick your ass. I'm going to kick your ass.
A big, strong dude who whooped all the Africans that time for the Jamaicans.
Yeah.
Strong youngster.
Ed Wheeler, man. Ed Wheeler.
Yeah, I remember Ed.
Chased my ass all up and down Redbird that day. I guess you wasn't there for that, but oh my God, I'll never forget that.
He was a gangster, you know, but so many came through there, man. Kenneth Lyons would come up down there and get some whoopings. It was some talent come through the Bird, man. I mean, you're talking about some talent come through there, man.
I said I want to throw some names at you, man, and I want to throw some names. Headache, go ahead. That's one of the names right there.
I remember when Lou Bird brought Headache to the gym as an 8th grader.
Okay.
And he brought I'm sorry. It was Mookie Smith brought Headache to the gym. Headache was in the 8th grade. That was his cousin.
Okay.
And he was young, and this was before the college program. He was just sitting, watching, and observing everything. And it's amazing how he developed to be what he was. And he brought Lou B to the gym too, because Lou B was not, you know, he was over at their school too. So I watch a lot of guys come in and develop their confidence and grow and get tougher and excel it, man. I saw a lot of that, you know.
Okay. So we got Headache out of the way. Give me Ike Williams. Ike Mo, what's your thoughts about where he would have stacked of all time?
Well, I don't know about the all time, but Ike Williams was a talent. He was 6'4", he could jump. He was a tremendous athlete. He was a 1 or 2 hand jumper, 1 hand jumper. Shot was common as he developed confidence. I think with some time he could have played in the league because he was a pro athlete, you know. Skills was getting better, you know, but he was tough. I respected him. I thought he was a talent, a nice talent, athletically.
Okay. What did you think about? I'm trying to think of some of the coaches here. You said, trainers. Walsh Jordan. Do you remember Walsh Jordan by the chance?
Yeah, I played with young Walsh. Walsh was, I liked him because he had big confidence. He believed in himself. He could handle the ball. He was fast. He was quick, you know. I don't know if he was a true 1 or a 2, but he was a guard and he was a player. I actually worked I commentated and worked the clock for Ro Blackman in a Mavericks camp that him and Sasser was in for the Mavericks.
Okay.
And Walsh looked pretty good, even though Sasser dropped about 30. Jason is much better in the system than he is just an open court, you know.
Right.
But Walsh Jordan, I respect him. He was much younger than us. He had a lot of confidence. He thought he was super cold, you know, and that's half of it. He believed in himself. Right. I think he was more from the north side. I think I remember him bringing Al Hampton out to Walnut Hill. You know?
Yeah, he was from Lake Highlands. He went to Lake Highlands.
But they were at Walnut Hill. But I respect Walsh. And he helped a lot of kids. He really helped a lot of kids.
What about Big E? Irvin Davis, Showtime.
Big E, you know, I met him later for his coaching. He coaching one of my best friend's grandson, Third Kill. So I like Big E. It seems like he let the players play. He bring a little toughness, you know. I think he does a good job, man. He seems to manage his little staff. Ain't nobody running nothing but him, which I respect. You know, I don't like weak coaches where the players run the system. Big E put that towel around his neck and talk cash noise. So I respect Big E. I don't know what all he running, but I respect him. You know, I joke with him about his brother. I tell him I'd kill his brother, Chris. But I like Big E. I think he's good for the AAU.
Okay. I'm trying to think of anyone else that's doing AAU right now.
Boys too much though.
Huh?
He's stuck on them Kimball boys.
He's stuck on them Kimball boys, huh?
Yeah, he loved them. See, I'm diverse. I'm from St. Louis, so I love them all. But he loved them Kimball boys, man.
Okay. Let me see. I'm trying to think of anyone in the Rod Taylor. Rod Taylor's.
Rod is my boy, man. Rod, I tell him all the time, he runs a nice system, but Rod is a guard coach. I don't know how well he do with bigs, but he does an outstanding job with guards. He runs a guards offense. He was a guard, him and Headache and them. So he does an outstanding job with his guards, you know. But the game has changed. That's the new game. The game is not post up and use a big. So, but I think Rob is a very good developer, and he has a good temperament. So players will listen to him, you know.
What kind of reference can you give me as him as being a hooper though?
Well, I didn't really see Rob. I mean, he got a resume. You know, he played at they say he played at Spruce and he started as a sophomore. He played a little D1, and he's a humble dude. You know, I seen some pictures of him. You know, he was 200 pounds lighter. You know, but I didn't see Rob. He didn't come up to the bird when I'm 60 this weekend, so. You know,
by the way, happy birthday. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't really catch Rob, but I believe he probably had a little something, you know.
Okay.
I think he had something.
Do you think he was better than you?
Don't talk crazy. None of them was better than St. Louis.
He said he was better than you, so I'm just.
Well, he's just joking, man. He didn't want to see me.
I just asked you, bro.
Ain't nothing out of Spruce want to see me, man. Get out of here with that.
All right. Well, Headache was in this, Spruce.
Yeah, Headache is. I do what Headache do at 6'6", man. You know, I like Headache. He had a super career, but I'm 4 inches taller, man. He gonna have some problems, but I love him. He's a pro.
Okay.
He's definitely a pro.
All right. So
I read.
Okay. I kind of ran through some of the guys as far as that's in the AAU field right now that you may have gotten to see in the past. Kind of break down some of these programs, man, that you've seen. And I know you're not super active in the gym like you used to be. You know what I'm saying? We kind of just talked a little bit about Showtime. All right. Talk to me about Urban DFW lead. You know, give me your thoughts on why parents should consider them as well.
Well, I respect the programs, and the game has changed so much. I think sometimes the players are baby because of their internet rate, and we go after them. I think sometime in the AAU, we're just putting talent on the floor, and we're not really coaching in some cases or developing players. And the thing I don't like about it, Paul, and I have to be honest with you, I think that you already know who your star going to be before he's earned the right to be the star. And I think that's not the real direction you should go. I think you ought to assemble a team, and whoever develops and be proven to be the go-to guy or whatever, etc., let that happen. But all this already know who he is and where he ranked. And you might have been ranked last year, but this is a new night and a new day, man. And I think sometimes we ride some of these young kids a little bit too much, and we developing these prima donnas, and then they get to the next level and get exposed, and they don't want to compete because they're not used to competing or earning anything, you know. Parents are too involved in the wrong way, you know, and too many coaches are fans instead of coaching, you know. So they're not really preparing them, you know. In some
one of the guys that I forgot to mention too, by the way, man, Bo Hampton, man, Rod Hampton, and
well, Bo my boy, but RJ would have killed Bo in the 7th grade. We know that. You know, me and Ron raised, but Bo's a good guy. He grew his senior year about 5 inches, and he became a college pro type point guard they wanted. And he was smart and got his grades, and he wasn't gonna be no trouble. But his son, RJ, ooh, you talking about a talent. I have to give Bo an A for what he did with RJ. So
no doubt.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I think Bo got the best out of Bo. He went to SMU and 4 years of D1. He was a late bloomer. He grew 5 inches in his senior year. You know.
Yeah.
He went on the levels of Love and fudged them at that, and Leonard Perry, and definitely not Eric Kelly at that early stage. But he grew 4 inches. He was smart. He listened. He got 4 years out of SMU, and he took everything he learned and he put it in RJ, and he got him a pro. So I shout outs to Bo. He my cat. I love him, you know, and he did a great job with that, man. So
yeah, no doubt. I've just really, you know, just watched that whole thing play out, and oh my God, you know, was that really amazing? And it's still, the story is still more to come, you know.
Still being told, because RJ is a real pro fit, man.
Right. What's gonna be the difference for him? Because I know you watch a lot of pro basketballs now. And I don't really watch the pro game that much.
All he has to do, he's a pro talent. All he needs is playing time. He's smart enough. He's athletic enough. The confidence in the shot will come. You know, once you get to that level, man, the toughest, once you get to that level, man, you need opportunity, playing time, and confidence because he runs well enough. There's enough older guys in the league. You see him dunked on. I mean, he's no joke. RJ's no joke. He just got to find his niche and find the coach who's going to play him and like him. RJ's a good fit. And he can do so many things. He can lock down. He could make a play. And they haven't even seen him score yet. He can score. You know, so it's all about opportunity, man. If somebody like him and give him a chance, he'll be there 10 years. If they don't like him, he'll go overseas and be rich, you know. So it's all about opportunity, man.
No doubt, no doubt.
He's a little stronger, you know. And he's a smart kid, so he listens.
Best player to not make it to the league.
You might be talking to him. Oh, you talking about Dallas. Okay. Okay,
you're not from Dallas, man. Yes, exactly. Bingo. Yeah. You're not from Dallas, man. Come on with it.
Well, let me give you the 5 because I can't
go ahead. Go. Bring it.
I would have to say Carl Wright is one of them because I think he could have played in the NBA 10 years on defense alone. He was that kind of athlete. Ran a 9.7, super speed, quick, tough, and he to develop his offense. Let's see. That didn't make it. You know, Scales and all them got a little sting in the league. So if you're talking about, and Burns played in the league, so if you're talking about just did not make it, overlooked, man, whoo, some bad boys come through here, man. You know,
put you on the spot on that one, man. Got you on the hook on that.
That's something to really think about. I call Wright stands out, but Ricky Grace should have played in the NBA. And I say that not because he was better than Cato. I don't even know if he was better than Cato Armstrong, but will I say he was just a pure point guard. Right. Pass first, old school, went up to Utah camp and destroyed John Stockton, but Malone didn't speak to him, so they got rid of him. He went over, he's the Michael Jordan of Australia. He came here on the national team and gave him about 25.
Yeah. Had his son at Duncanville. Jeremy Grace that played very well for Duncanville back in 2013, 2014. Great kid, but you know, I think Gwen Westbrook. You remember Gwen? I don't know if you remember Gwen from from Redbird. She used to hoop there. That was Jeremy's mother. But all right, so Ricky Grace. Wow, that's a good one right there, man. Tell me your thoughts about Marcus Smart. I know you saw Marcus Smart.
You know, he fooled me. I didn't see all the basketball skills, but you know, you can. I mean, big stage player, tough, understood his role, market his role. Because LeBron Nash was just with better talent. Just flat out, just talented. I don't know if he had that kind of IQ, but Smart was just tough as nails, lockdown perimeter defender, high basketball IQ. You play him up at the gym, you wouldn't think he was gonna make it, but he's a great fit. And look how he's excelling in the NBA. Now, I wouldn't have put him in the NBA. I wouldn't say he's one of the most talented out of Dallas, man. I done seen more talented players, but far as mental toughness, high basketball IQ, big stage player, shit, don't come no better, Doc. You know, that's why he's excelling in Boston. You know, he's tough to fight anybody. You know, he ain't gonna back down. You need one of them, and he's a perimeter guy for him. Yeah. It's kind of like Andre Emmett when he came out. I told him, man, you're gonna have to lock down 1s, 2s, and 3s, or you're not gonna stay in the league. St. Louis, I got this. Okay, he goes first round. I see him 3 years later. St. Louis, how come you didn't tell me? Well, he thought he was going to go in there and just score. Even though he's a great scorer, he wasn't a known scorer, so he was going to have to get the opportunity to score. So he was going to have to defend. Right. He didn't go in there defending. He went in there scoring. Same thing. Now, there's another guy who came out of Oklahoma State the same time. He didn't get the pub Andre did. But he went to the NBA and played for Memphis and played for 15 years. You remember that guy? from Chicago, Tony Allen.
Tony Allen, yeah.
Andre had all the pub. Tony Allen didn't have nothing coming out of Oklahoma State, but he was out of Chicago. He understood the only way I'm gonna make this lead is to lock down and defend. Did what Marcus Smart did. So he was in there 15 years. Andre could score on anybody in the NBA, but he can't guard on the perimeter, or he didn't buy into it. So, you know, you got to know what to do, man, you know, because everybody could play. You know, everybody could play, man. When you get to D1, when you get to junior college, everybody could play. Everybody the best of where they come from, Doc. So once you get past junior college, D2, D1, man, you're going to have to bring it. You know, it's all about apples and oranges. Do they like you? They don't like your attitude. They don't like a mole on your head. You know, it could be any little thing, man, because it's so close. Okay. Do you fit their system? It's tight, man. Your boy could play. Jewel had a high basketball IQ. I thought Jewel should have went D1 off the top. You messed around, didn't want him to go D1. But Jewel had a high basketball.
Why y'all keep? Let me ask you that. That's a $1 million question right there.
Duncanville won state was because of
DeSoto, baby. DeSoto.
Because of Jewel. Jewel had a high basketball, and then even Jazz won with Jewel. I watched Jewel when I was working with DBU. Jewel is tough as nails. I don't know if he's still got that passion because he done been through so much.
Yeah. No, he's back in it. He's rehabbing, and you know, he's like, you know, he just want to see if basketball loves him as much as he loves basketball. That was his last comment on that.
Well, that's because of the coaching that he's had to deal with. First, he had to deal with Dyers, and no knock on Dyers because Dyers a winner.
Right.
But it's a mentality that comes with Dyers. And the coach at Dallas Baptist is a good coach. I would give him a good coach, but he kind of let you go a little bit, but he has the way he wants to play. Jewel's got to be cut free completely. You got to turn your team over to Jewel and let him just run it, man.
Really?
You know, let him shoot until he get his confidence rolling, and Jewel will win for you. That's what Jazz did, and that's why they beat everybody in the nation. And they didn't have no great team. It just was they guards ran it, you know.
Yeah. And they loved playing with each other. They were good. They were good kids, man. I definitely was one of my most enjoyable teams that I ever seen my son play with, man. Those kids really. You mean
DBU?
No, I'm saying that urban team. That urban team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, he was cut free. He was loose, and they loved each other. See, he was turned loose.
Yeah.
That's why they won.
Don't get me wrong. The DeSoto team was good, and we accomplished a lot of great things, but we had a couple of issues here and there. You know what I'm saying? And
well, we know Dyers is a great coach, but Dyers is he's a D1 coach. He wants all control, and it's character first with him. His personality first with him. And if you don't think he has it, I don't care how good you are. He'll look the other way. I went through that D1, so. He has that mentality where, I don't care who you are. This is my system. I'm not changing my system for the players. You got to play how I want you to play.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this. Coach DJ saying, tell it St. Louis. Tell St. Louis I said, what's up? Coach DJ.
What's up?
Look like you got a couple of fans in the chat room right there, man. I don't know if you can see that or not.
Yeah,
but, they're in there. Let me see what this says right here. Hold on, I'm trying to get this. Let me see how can I do this. I'm gonna tell you this, St. Louis. I'm not no pro at this right now. Doing this.
Oh, you good, man?
Just trying to see what it says. Messages from audience. All display here. So I'm just trying to see. What they're saying, I can't scroll that down, but
well, make sure if I miss somebody, tell them I love them. But it's just so many names, and St. Louis been here for 33 years, and I'm from another city, and I played in another city, so it's hard to remember names. And I know I miss some people, but there's some studs out the DFW, man. Fort Worth, Dallas, North Side, West Dallas, North Dallas, Oak Cliff, And I went everywhere. I went to Singer Hill, Redbird, Keys, Walnut Hill on Saturdays. You had the whole pro-am out there. I used to take a Guire out there on Saturdays, Mark. So, and they would, you know, I'm telling you, man, it's talent all over the city, man.
John Walsh.
That's my homeboy. He got a bad son, plays for Faith Family.
Yeah, bad boy.
Yeah, John Walls was an athlete. He looked little.
Really?
He had a 40-inch vertical. He's a football man.
Really?
But he played it. Whew, he was an athlete. John Wall could jump out the building.
You know, you said something a while ago, and I've been trying to think of how to ask this one right now, because this next question I want to see, how would St. Louis, or did y'all, how would you been able to handle this, or did this happen back in your day? You know, we hear that word jealousy floating around a lot, right? Today.
Yes.
More than it was back in our day.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree on that?
No, I think it's always been, I mean, jealousy is just a human characteristic, man. People's personality. It's always been, come on, man. You know how much I was hated? Ron hated me and sick from Ren to anybody came in the gym that was cold. We don't like him. He come up from St. Louis talking all that old noise. Who you think you is? Get him, Ren. Get him this. Get him. So jealousy has always been there, man. You know, that's just a part of life. I think what has happened with the kids, though, we never seen so much jealousy with parents.
Right.
Our parents raised us to be men. Their parents raising them to be ball players, totally different. You had a couple of them, but most of us was raised to be men. Basketball was secondary. And we got to get them back being raised to be men, because the game is going to leave them. And once it's time to get off the train, you got to be able to get off and go to the second base in life.
Now you've played with a team full of some studs on there, correct? In your time, is it safe for me to assume that? Was there any animosity?
I played with 3 NBA players at Oklahoma City, and 1 transferred to Kansas and played with the Nuggets, and the other one was second leading scorer in the nation. Yeah, I played with some studs, but they wasn't colder than me, but they was given the opportunity. So yeah, you know, this is what it is.
Nobody was colder than you, bro.
Well, you know, I done played with something close, but I mean that colder than I'm a competitor. You know, just what it is.
Okay, with you on that stud team, man, you know, did you ever have to worry about, you know, this dude trying to outshoot you, or didn't want to pass you the ball because, you know,
no,
I got to get mine. Did y'all have any of that back then?
I had all of it in junior college, because I was coming in from St. Louis, top 35 in the nation, coming out of high school, JUCO. I had to go JUCO. So when I got to Texas, I had problems with all them cats, because they were some local schools here. They were good where they came from, but the coach favored me, so it was a lot of hate there. But once I got D1, it's a coach's league. I don't care. They don't have to be jealous. He already tell you the 2 gonna shoot. So it was just to get jealous, because you can hit a 3 and you hear that buzzer go off. I didn't tell you to do that. So a coach will kill the jealousy, because he'll tell you what he wants.
Right. When a coach doesn't do that, what do we
think?
When
a coach not in control, there's a thin line. He could be in control, and I think a good point guard, and I like what you're saying about the jealousy. I think good captains have to bring cohesiveness among the players, and it's more than just going to movies together. They need to talk it out. And I think the coaches need to listen to the players, because the players know who the real know the real. The players know.
Right.
And the coach trying to, you know, put in who he wants to. But sometimes you need to talk to your top players, and they'll tell you who needs to be on the floor and who needs to be shooting.
Hang on a second. I got a dude text me right now that I got to send this invite to. I think we're going to like this one. KELVIN. Big KELVIN was a rim rocker in the Lou. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that?
John Watts. That's my homie.
Yeah. All right, hang on a second.
He's played with 7-foot Stepanovic when I came out.
Hang on a second. Let me do that right there. I'm trying to him and Spoon. U City is what he's saying on that.
Spoon had a 40-inch vertical, man. I ain't had nobody jump out of him. He out of Normandy and from St. Louis. He had to bounce. He jumped higher than Charles Barkley.
Okay.
But it was a little tougher back in that day, man. They're giving out D1 scholarships like lollipops now, man. It wasn't like that.
Really?
Why
do you think that is, man? Why do you think that is? Seriously.
Well, the game has changed. The game has changed. And, you know, when I played, you might have had, like when I went to Oklahoma City, you had like 8, 10 blacks in the whole school. And 7 of them was on the basketball team. And, you know, and they was only going to be the ones that play. You know, you had other guys to make sure that we had some type of graduation on the squad. But it was just wasn't a lot of brothers in D1 back then, man. It wasn't, you was tough to go D1 back in the early 80s. And it just kind of opened up with John Thompson and a few black coaches started coming in and it just changed. And now, man, they just want the top 5. If you can play, there's no excuse about the coach stop me now. You got AAU. You don't get off in high school, you can go play in AAU and kill it. Your daddy can sponsor you and you get a team where you shoot all the balls and you can get a look. You got social media now. You know, there's no excuse now. You know, if you got it, they'll find you now, or you can market yourself. Couldn't do that back then. You know, it was tougher.
I did that to the wrong address here. I'm sorry. God, hang on. I got to get this one in because you're gonna love this one, bro.
And then it was a big man's game then. So all the 7-footers and 6'10" went first.
When did that change, man? When did that change? I remember that. Now it's just like it's definitely a guard game.
It's a guard's game. Well, the game kind of, I would say, changed. Well, when you start bringing in all the foreigners the big guys start shooting deep. Now they don't know how to post no more, you know.
Yeah, and I agree.
Yeah, a lot of stuff that they were doing in college. You can see how college was structured. Here we got Embiid averaged 15, 17 in Kansas, and he averaging 30 in the NBA. That lets you see what kind of freedom they have in the NBA if they build a team around you. Yeah, so the game has changed. It's a guards game. A lot of these guards that's killing now wouldn't even be looked at in D1, you know, or forget the pros. They didn't have a chance. It was more get the team involved. You look at Isaiah Thomas, he wouldn't even shoot in the first half. He would get everybody involved and then he'll score. Iverson kind of helped change the game because now you got an inner city kid that you let him do his thing. You know what I mean? Right, where they were telling us that was street ball. We was doing that. That's street ball. And, you know, take that back to the hood. We don't play like that. We don't want the ball. D1, when I was coming through, you didn't dribble 3 times. You moved the ball by passing. Now, as soon as they get the ball, they putting it on the floor. You look at guys like Steph. Steph missed 3 of them. He don't get to shoot no more. Steph can shoot 3 air balls and get to shoot the next one from half court, and nobody says nothing. And this is not taking them from him. He's a great shooter, but the game has changed. It's more entertaining.
Okay.
He ain't shooting deep, you know. Now, I like some of the skilled players. I like the Joker because he can do it both ways.
Yeah.
I see Embiid talent, but the guys, the big 7-footers who are great perimeter players, they done lost something. They can't post up. And then the great guards who are going one-on-one scoring, they can't run no set. So while they doing different things, they've lost some stuff along the way.
Okay.
That's why the foreigners are taking over. The foreigners have always been that good, skill-wise. They just didn't have our physicality.
No doubt.
Good. But now the game has changed.
Give me the NBA player that best fits or looks like what a younger St. Louis would have been.
Oh, in this game?
Yeah, in this game right now, NBA player right now. Who is the closest to being like St. Louis can?
Well, you know, I could shoot deep, but I go down them blocks too. So they don't, you know, in today's game, I can't say James Harden because I wouldn't have just been out there floating like that. No, I didn't say James Harden because I post up too.
St. Louis, you didn't have handles like that, bro.
Don't talk crazy, man. He got them handles over. Let me tell you something. James Harden didn't have no handles. You know where he got them handles at? Where? He worked out with a D2 guy in Oklahoma City who worked with him with all that playing with the ball. He didn't have that at Arizona State. He picked up them little tricks, man, and they be carried and taking steps to the side. And he's a pure shooter, but he didn't have all that.
Yeah.
And some of that stuff is traveling and carrying. We couldn't do that. You couldn't take no side step that far across and shoot the ball to get that kind of space. He's getting an awful lot of space on that jumper.
Yeah.
And he's a volume shooter with pros on the squad. So the game has changed. So, man, I can't see nobody I could play like. I could do what they do, but I was more of a post-up. And look at Rod. I was a post-up and shooter. What's up, Rod?
Oh, we can't hear you, Rod.
Let go, Boham.
Something going on with your mic. Try to hang up and do it again, Bo. Something's going on with your connection. We can't hear you. Can you hear us? Can you hear us, Bo?
Rob.
I think he froze. Yeah, let me do that right quick. See what he does.
You got your boy on here. I'm glad you got your boy on here. That's a Kimball night.
You know, it's nice. We fly together, baby.
I told you that.
Yeah. I think Rod, you froze. All right, so hold on. Hopefully he'll be able to network connection. It's not there. All right, so James Harden was the dude that was like St. Louis?
No. I wouldn't say like me because I rebound and board and play a little dig, shoot. But not just stand out there shooting it. I don't, I was more of a Mark type, a Aguirre type.
Now, I don't know if I told you this or not. I used to have Mark Aguirre on my podcast originally when Jules was like in the 5th grade, I think it was. And he came on the show and gave a great I've had John Lucas on the show. I've had a lot of, good people on here, man. And I'll never forget that time Aguirre came in here and he talked about busting you up at Redbird. It wasn't Redbird, Jim. It was one of he said somewhere St. Louis kid. I remember he in St. Louis, yeah. I don't know if that was true or not, but I got to go back and find that again. And,
if you want to get the truth on that, you got to ask Derrick Harper because he was there.
I'm just telling you.
It didn't go like that.
All right,
what's good?
There you go, Bo. There you go. Now if I can get some light on you. Light on you, bro.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to give you some light, brother. Hold on. I was watching the game with RJ on there.
I ain't seen my classmate since '67, man. That's my dude, y'all. Rod Hampton has joined us, man. Rod, you missed it. I was trying to get you on early. We've been just chopping it up about some of the top players that come out of the DFW area, right? And that list is long and very extensive. And you're gonna miss some players. Okay, go ahead.
Where was I at?
You made.
I don't know who you was, but your son was on there.
Well, that's cool with me. Hey, he's way better than me anyway.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I told him.
That's what he said.
You get a pass because you developed one of the coldest. And RJ is the real deal. You know how I feel about RJ. Yeah. RJ is the real deal. All he needs is a coach that believe in him because he's athletic enough. He can defend. He can make a play. And they ain't even see how well he could score yet. And Denver is
just opportunity, man.
That's what I told him. And I say Denver is crying right now with that two guard being hurt because they should have kept him.
Right.
Well, Denver, Denver taught him. They had a lot of vets and really good dudes. So I was glad he went there because they taught him how to be a pro. They taught him in a short amount of time. Right. So he get to Orlando with a young team. He fall in line as a young vet, not a vet, but a young vet. Hey, get your rest, lift weights. You can't go out every night. You got to do whatever it takes to win.
Yeah. Learn how
to be a pro. It's going to work out for him.
No doubt.
I can see, it's going to work out for him.
Hey, so let's pump the brakes on that because I don't want Rod to have the I don't want Bo. Excuse me, I don't call this dude Rod. I don't want Bo to answer daddy questions on any of this right now. This ain't the daddy part. This is Bo Hamp right there, man. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? This is one of my dearest friends from Kimball High School. And like I said, we talking about the top 50. You know what I'm saying? And you can always leave some names out. Bo, give me some names, man. Who you think, man? You know, help me and St. Louis out on this, man.
Well, number one, and I hadn't even been on here.
Yeah. I'm
gonna go with Carl Wright.
Bingo. That's what. See, you and this dude think alike. Cause that's what he said.
I said that he's the top that didn't play in the NBA.
Yeah. But I'm not talking about the NBA. I'm talking about DISD, Garland ISD, and you got some guys that are special that played in the NBA that didn't. I mean, Paul, you probably don't even know Pontus Wilson.
I do know Pontus.
You know Pontus. You know
I played against him.
You know Alley-oop. If you're talking new school, we're gonna talk Chris Bosh, Bracy Wright, Darren Williams. But you know, those guys, that's when the mainstream marketing came along.
No doubt.
Good point.
You know, right now, I really do think the NBA is a marketing. It's the king of
commercialized.
Marketing.
Yeah, commercialized substance now. Agree on that. Agree.
You got guys like Kenneth Willingham, Marvin Washington Kimball, Chucky Graves, you know, Eric Kelly. Eric Kelly was the original Ray Allen. You remember Eric Kelly?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know, you can't forget Cato Armstrong.
Yeah, Garland. Yeah.
You know, he gave Mookie play like 6, but guess what? Mookie played 8-9 years in the league. So we're not talking about NBA guys because how you get there and how long you stay is a different story. It came down to sometimes how you reacted off the court. So, you know, it is what it is.
Okay. Rod, you had these scratching surface. You got Daryl Joe, you got Ricky Grace. It's so many players come through here, man. We be here all day. Scales, Burns. Man, we be here all day. And you're going to miss 50 of them. You know,
well, I would rather do it like this. I would rather do like they do in the NBA, different eras. You got Magic, Barkley, Bird, and Jordan. They're not in the same era with Kobe, Shaq, T-Mac, those type of guys.
No doubt.
You almost have to do it. You have to do it eras, and you almost have to do it by position. And then you got to look at the variables of some who excel in high school who didn't excel in college. And then some got good after college and got the business in the pro-am. So, you know, it depends on how you want to evaluate it. But it's a lot of talent that come through here, you know. And there's no way we could just say top 50 because you can name top 50 guards.
Right.
I mean, but I think the deal of that list was just what we're doing now. We're talking about it.
Yeah.
So
we can name some names.
Yeah, and I didn't react either way. I was just happy to see my son's name on there. He could have been 50.
Yeah.
He could have been 50.
You can't put him in. He's another. He's made it though. He's not fair because he made it. He didn't go to college.
Yeah.
I had, Bo, I don't know if you saw the show last week, but I had did a top 50 from 2000 on up, and I think I had RJ like somewhere around like 12 or 13 of all time, and no one gave me any grief behind it on the cool, like, you know, and I didn't get called to being a homer or an uncle, you know what I'm saying? But you know, here's one now.
I really, and I know, and this you my guy, Saint my guy, but I can tell you this: RJ had over 3,000 points in 3 years. You forget he never played a senior year.
Yeah, you're right.
And then you can't forget the Maxi kid or his daddy.
No doubt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, but
here's someone that's in the chat room that brought up.
I'm gonna throw another name at you. You probably guys have said Glendon Alexander.
Now, see, I left him off accidentally. And I don't know how the hell I did it, but you know what I mean? I got to save face a little bit, right? And I was like, well, he didn't play nobody. You know what I'm saying? I had to do that on Twitter. Somebody hit me on Twitter on that. So you know me, I gotta shoot back a little bit. But yes, Newman Smith.
What about the Hopkins boys?
Hey, no, only one of the Hopkins. You know,
the first one was that was tough too. Huh?
We talking about the brothers that went to Lincoln? Or what Hopkins we talking about?
Them two, both of them were super talented.
Well, the other one was okay. You know,
which one?
B-Hop, the one, the one I really think carried.
Did he go to SMU?
SMU. He took his brother with him.
Right.
The brother was the one that was passing the grade.
You caught his brother injured. He was a stud before he got injured.
Well, I know he didn't do anything at SMU, bro, but I know he was the one that got them grades for both of them. So I heard. So.
Oh, you're talking about the twins? No, I'm talking about
Leonard. No, not the Neal twins. Not the Neal twins.
Yeah. No. It's one with the North.
That's why I asked you, St. Louis. I knew there was another Hopkins.
Yeah. It's one with the North.
I'm talking about the Hopkins at Lincoln.
Oh no, I'm not talking about the twin brother. That
played with Bosch.
Yeah, the one played with Bosch.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Brother, Leonard.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
Oh, the went to North Texas.
Yeah, Leonard went to North Texas.
I don't remember.
He was a stud.
Oh, wow.
Got hurt.
Hold on, y'all.
They take Jerome Rogers to talk about him. And Madison has some studs. Come on, man.
Hey, man, I got to add this other guy on. If we can get you some light on, boy.
Big Rod.
Rod, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Rod,
can you hear me?
Y'all, from the Dallas, but yeah, we hear you now, bro. We hear you. Rod just getting out of practice, y'all. We got Rod, we got Bo Hamp on, we got St. Louis on, and of course me. And we talking about right now them Hopkins boys at Lincoln.
Yeah. Leonard was better at an early age than he had a knee injury. He had a bad knee injury, and that messed him up.
Right.
Yeah, Leonard was the man. Man.
Yeah. Rod, give me your best.
Did you have Anthony Snowden on the list?
Nah,
from West Valley.
From Pinkston, yeah.
Yeah. No, I didn't.
Man, come on, man. You got
and again,
he got to stand in line, Bo.
Hey, that's what we go to say why we got to have conversations. You understand what I'm saying? Because when
you had the original Chris Paul, Ronell Peters.
I remember that. You Kimber Knight, another one. Yeah.
No, Ronell played with Carter.
Roosevelt. Yeah.
Okay, you said Carter. Michael Williams.
Yeah. Michael Williams and Carter. I had Michael Williams.
What about Singleton?
Who?
Ron Singleton. Y'all didn't see a lot of these cats. What about
Ron Singleton?
I did. Yes. So they played for Gillum. Coach Gill.
Daryl Joe.
I remember Daryl. Sock.
Rod Strickland used to, when Rod Strickland come to Dallas, he said, what happened to do Daryl Joe? He ripped me about 4 times when I was at the park. Daryl Joe was a stud.
All right, so let me take this question right quick for y'all right quick. It says, who's y'all's number one of all time from the area? And then number one from 2000 on. I want to hear from each of y'all. I'm gonna let Rod go first. Big Rod, then Bo, you go, and then St. Louis, you come with it. Rod?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. You hear the question?
Yeah, who my number one all time?
Yes, sir.
Woo, man. It's hard, man, but I gotta go. I gotta go with Carl Wright, man.
Okay. From 2001, 2000 on in, who's your number one player?
2001 in, I'm gonna say Julius Randle, man.
Ooh, that's a shocker.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Julius Randle.
Bo Hamp?
I'm gonna follow that up. I'm gonna go with Carl Wright. All time, and from 2000 on, R.J. Hampton.
How we know
I said you can't be no homer, bro.
Hey, man.
You can't be no homer.
I'm sorry.
Outside of RJ, who the best player, dog? 2000 on in.
2000, that's been what, 20 years, right?
Yes, sir.
And that's in Dallas?
Yes, sir.
Man, that's I mean, I wouldn't have a problem going with Julius. I wouldn't.
Okay. St. Louis?
Now, when did Chris Bosh leave high school?
02, somewhere around there. Yeah, 02.
No, and you know why I'm gonna say Chris Bosh?
Like Chris Bosh too.
No, I'm gonna go Chris Bosh because my philosophy is when you dominate your position in high school, you're ready for the next level. I saw Chris Bosh play in the global games at Moody Coliseum as a high school senior, and he dominated grown men.
Mm-hmm.
Then I saw him play at Georgia Tech. He dominated. I'm not saying the game because they didn't win every game, but he dominated the power forward position. So yeah, I thought he was a little older, but I'm gonna go with and Julius is my guy, 100 grand. But I'm gonna go with Chris Bosh, 99, and Julius 98. Okay. So either one of those for me.
Okay.
I agree with that. I agree with you on that, Bo.
You gonna say Lou?
The 2000 on up, I'm not totally familiar, but I would have to add those two. But I would add Marcus Aldridge to that, man. You know.
Who?
The boy from Seagerville.
LaMarcus Aldridge.
Marcus.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
He would have to be in that bunch too. And before then, man, you got some studs. I mean, it depends on what you're looking for. You know, y'all hollering Carl Wright, but don't forget Ren Wright was. I don't think y'all saw him. He was a Hall of Famer with A&M.
Yeah, Ren went to A&M, played with Rob Wright.
I didn't see Ren.
He was a Hall of Famer though, and you talking Scales and Vernon and Burns and Grasshopper and.
See, that's almost talking like Walt Frazier. You know, right. A lot of guys on this podcast haven't even seen those guys or heard, like Walt Bellamy. You know, Elgin Baylor, who just died. He was Russell Westbrook before Russell Westbrook. I'm gonna throw the name for you too. We cannot discredit Marcus Smart.
See, that's my number for 2000.
That's 2000 on. We can't discredit him because he's what, a winner.
Yeah.
Exactly, and it's success. But he's just not your everyday skilled player. But he's a winner. He's tough. He defends. He got a high basketball IQ. Yeah. But he ain't the first pick up at the bird. You know, let's keep it 100.
Well, we said 2000 on end, bro. Yeah. That's all we said on that. That's my number one player all time. No, excuse me, of 2000 on end. Now, all time, there's no question, bro. Carl Wright was it, bro. And the things that he did athletically. Go ahead.
Let me say this, St. Louis, and the reason I say because the Southwest Conference had Phi Slamma Jamma, who he averaged probably 40 on. It had Alvin Robertson, those guys at Arkansas.
Right.
A&M was tough. He gave all of those people fits.
Yeah.
He had I'm not taking that from him because I love his individual talent. His brother was more skilled, but athletically, he could have played the NBA 10 years because of his footwork. But man, it's some studs come out of here. Scales they call him the astronaut. I watched him give the Paul 30. Al McGuire called him the astronaut. It's a lot of talent when y'all were little babies that come through here, man. Right. And you can't discredit any of them sassies because they get successful.
Hey, we forgot about Larry Johnson too, guys.
No, we ain't forgot. I'm right there. I'm, on the tip of my tongue. Like I said, I'm but the thing about Larry though, dude, he didn't win. And that's where Larry Johnson.
Larry Johnson won, man.
He didn't win here in Dallas.
Not in high school, he did.
Not in high school, he didn't.
Oh, so we gonna rank everything in high school?
Well, I'm just saying high school.
He went to the first NBA draft. Are y'all kidding me?
Yeah.
Larry Johnson.
We're talking high school. We're not talking now. You want to go UNLV on?
You're talking high school.
Well,
but see, that's why I didn't put
you're talking high school. It's a whole different thing. And you can't even say Carl Wright if you're talking high school.
Hey,
right.
Man,
that's why I didn't put Chris Bosh in there because he has some ball-dominant guards. That's why I didn't put Chris Bosh in there because his guards dominated the ball.
Big Rod.
Huh?
I'm finna give you a name, and Paul would know the name, and his brothers. He had brothers. I'm gonna say Neil Derrick.
Yeah, Neil and Derrick.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite high school player of all time.
That's it. Richard Derrick, his brother.
He's my favorite high school player.
What about Ricky Pierce?
Yeah, Garland. There you go.
I didn't see him.
What about Ricky Pierce?
I didn't see him.
Yeah.
Well, the NBA saw him. He went to about 4 NBA All-Stars. Come on, man. There's too much talent come out of here.
Yeah.
And we got
all
to
night doing that one. You're right.
We got to recognize the game changed.
Well, Paul, I'm going to ask you one more question. I'm sorry to take it over. But when we were at Kimball and Carter and Roosevelt, let me ask you a question.
Sock,
was there a lot of recruiting that there took? Because, you know, these guys are going on title runs, and I'm talking about the teams out of Houston, the teams out of Dallas, the 4As, whatever. But there's a lot of recruiting going on. Is that right? Was there a lot of that going on? Because before I went to Kimball, I had to move out of Carter's district. I not that they made me, but I wasn't doing that.
Yeah. Because Bo, you went to Atwell. I remember that.
Yeah.
And what he's talking about, y'all, the audience is were there any high schools doing a lot of recruiting like there is today? You got guys living in Egypt, all of a sudden playing at
Well, sometimes you have to do that because there's so much politics. There was a dude named, I remember when I first got here, there was a dude named Steve Washington, and he was supposed to go to SOC, but they weren't going to play him. He left and went to North Dallas High School and gave SOC 50.
Woo. Shout out to North Dallas, Tony Jackson. Y'all know if y'all remember Tony Jackson.
Everybody know Tony had that fresh curl.
Ready for the world.
Y'all are in 2000, man. The game opened up in you all's generation. They giving out scholarships like lollipops.
Right.
Man, you talking about some studs in the 80s, man.
Let me ask y'all all a question and one at a time on this, all right? Out of all the high school players that you've seen, which one would you pay all over again to go see right now from back in them days? What high school player?
Neil Derrick.
Bo?
Neil Derrick.
Why? Okay, hold on, Bo. Why would you say that? Tell me why you would go with Neil Derrick. What was so special to make you go in your pocket and pay for that?
He was just a highlight reel, man. He can handle it, he can shoot it, he'll dunk on you, he'll do it all, man.
Go ahead, Bo.
I got two. I would pay to see Carl, as he's my favorite.
No doubt.
But I would also pay to see Michael Williams because he made 30. There wasn't a 3-point line. He's gonna give you 35 to 40 every night. I mean, he shot it 60 times. I wouldn't see him shoot it.
No doubt.
Thank you.
That's true.
What about you, St. Louis?
Well, Hutch had a lot of bad boys. Hutch said Alvin Reed was the best player ever come out of Hutch. You never heard of him, and Spud said that. And Spud played with Dominique and played 15 years in the NBA with all pros. So high school, I can't. High school is such a system deal. It's hard for me to really evaluate what a guy is in high school because I don't know what they're running. Like Maceo Jones, a lot of folks didn't like him in high school, but I saw his talent when he was at that little private school, and now look at him. So I can't really go on high school. I got to wait until you at least go to college and play against somebody or come to the gym and get some street cred. But I can't go on this high school.
But let's do this then. Let's modify that for you to after you've seen the body of work, after the career is over with, a player that you would mind seeing back in high school and knowing you already seen what his future was like, that you would go in high school to go back in time to see him play in high school again. Who would that have been?
Well, because of my size built and my style of play, it'd probably be Larry.
Larry J? Yeah. So, you got Rod, Big Rod, you came out in 86 too, right?
Big Rod.
Yeah, I'm here.
You come out. What year you come out, Rod?
I came out in 92.
Oh damn! I didn't realize you.
You might not need to be on this call, young fella.
All right.
But you got an old soul, so we rock with you.
No doubt. All right. So, for me, I definitely loved Carl Wright. I definitely loved Marcus Smart watching him play. I don't know, Bo, if you were there the year that I know Rod was probably there when Vegas, down in Vegas, when they were playing against Urban, and how Marcus was just talking so much crap to Jazz and them, if you had to been there, man, I didn't realize what a shit talker, Marcus Smart was back in them days. When I tell you this dude was man, unbelievable. And he backed everything that he said up. You know what I'm saying? And it just wasn't players like that. But and here's a player though that I would love to see play again. To go back in college and really love to just shake his ass. You know what I'm saying? And wake him up a bit to see. Hold on, what is this? All right, so hang on a second. To shake him, to wake him up, to say, hey, I know what your future looks like. You know what I'm saying? Get it together. You know what I'm saying? Because it was just a joy watching this dude play. Keith Frazier of Kimball High School was man. Every game that he played, he was going to give it. You know what I'm saying? And so, a second. I don't know why this person is doing this right now. Okay, I'm sorry. But to see him play again back in them days, this dude was shooting from damn near half court, before the Steph Curry stuff was coming out, man. So
Dwayne Brown could do that, man.
Dwayne could shoot it that far?
Oh,
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So y'all young, man.
So Paul,
I know Dwayne Brown. I got a good Dwayne Brown.
Yeah, I know I'm gonna throw my homeboy in there. He was a pleasure to watch. He was a pleasure to play with and a pleasure to watch. Huh?
Who?
Headache.
Yes,
he could do that. Headache could shoot like that.
Headache was a bad dude, man.
Oh yeah.
And he could shoot. Headache could do it off the glass.
On the cool, though, right? On the cool. Another player that I would love to see go back and play high school again. Braylon Ransom, man. I think I told you this the other day.
Yeah.
That dude, y'all. St. Louis, you missed this kid. 5'9", 5'8", whatever. Dude could shoot lights out and didn't
only
give a damn.
5'8", 5'9". I like his Spud Webb. So you're gonna have to really be special.
Spud couldn't shoot it like this kid could, bro. Trust me when I tell you that.
Out of the world.
You just love
St. Louis, you always looking at Braylon highlights, man. Braylon was the real deal.
Okay,
yeah,
Braylon. You talking about the Braylon that he made? Oh yeah, he could. Well, Rob is a great guard coach. I told you that before he got on. Rob is one of the best developer with 3 guards on the floor you got in the AAU. But he got to work on the big man piece.
Yeah.
Rob, you give Rob 3 guards, you in trouble.
But now,
he ain't gonna do no big.
But Paul, you and Big Rod have your posts on the AAU. I'm coming back into it with my smaller son. But is there anybody? I mean, where the 40? I mean, Maxey was gonna give you 30 and 10.
Oh yeah.
And hey, where are the guys that I'm waiting to come see a guy to give me 50 in AAU? I've seen it with my own eyes. Where are those guys at?
Man,
they're not there anymore. Give me.
Dude, I saw do that was a little kid out of Little L.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying Keontae had 41. Keontae had 41, and I was so happy to see that.
Yeah,
it's AAU. Yeah. When you rank top 10 in the state, you going get me 15 and 7 and a win. I don't care, because once you get to college, they're gonna put you in a role. That role may be because if you score 40, they're gonna put you in a role to score 20 because you're not scoring 40.
There you go. There you go, Bo. There you go.
If you're scoring 15 and you top 10 in the state, be ready to pass it to the guy that builds Steph to want to score 20.
There you go. That's bingo right there.
You don't have to be bingo.
Yeah. All right, so I know we said we're gonna make this about players. I think all of us have seen Dallas versus Houston, and I don't want to compare the players. I want to know what's the difference, man, between the Dallas players of today versus what they were yesteryear, right? St. Louis, and compare that to what Houston was, and where they're at today. And I don't expect you to really know too much on where they're at today, but give me the version of where they were, and then Rod and Bo can talk about now. Go ahead.
I would say at one time Houston had players all over the city, whereas Dallas had a concentrated area. But now Dallas is caught up because it's so much talent here, and where Houston got all the pub, where Dallas got just as much talent or more. You know, it's kind of like Chicago and St. Louis was. Chicago boys got the pub, but it was studs in St. Louis. It's two guys just from my little hometown. My local was supposed to go to my high school, Bradley Beal and Jason Tatum. We've always had that kind of talent, but Chicago was getting all the pub. Dallas has always had a great talent, but Houston was known for being a great pub. So it was harder for guys wasn't going to SMU until like Bo and a few of them went and call. They get one or two brothers, maybe the big guy from Roosevelt, but not many. Houston was getting 5 brothers from the hood, So it has changed. Talent-wise, I think Dallas is a little bit more athletic at one time, and Houston was more basketball-minded. But I think it's kind of done caught up now. And I think right now, Dallas has the edge on Houston the last 5 years. Right now,
yeah, we've been dominating. Rod,
but when I got here, you didn't want to see Houston.
What's the first question?
What'd you say?
What was the
St. Louis?
What was the first one you said, Paul?
Give me the Dallas versus Houston. The state of where basketball is now. As I'm hearing St. Louis say, there was a time Houston really dominated us. You know what I'm saying? Or he had it in on us now, and now it's like, we own them.
When I came through, like he said, Houston was just more athletic. You had LeBradford Smith, you had the Mishaw. They were just more athletic. We could play with them, but they were just more athletic. Now I think it's turned around. I think it's a competition, which is a healthy competition. The guys in Dallas-Fort Worth are turning into two different kinds. They're turning into gym rats, not like we were. Not if you go to the gym and hoop. They're getting all this training.
Yeah.
Like I said, you got Tim Martin, you got Tyler Ralph, you got a lot of guys who aren't celebrity trainers. When I say celebrity trainers, that's not a bad thing. But when I say celebrity trainers, that's how they make their living.
Yeah.
You don't see the time that Tyler and Tim and those guys put in watching film. To this day, Tyler still sends tape to RJ to watch after every game.
Right.
So, and Paul, we have the best facilities, which attract what? The best coaches. Which attract the best administrators. So down here, I've always spent money on RJ's training if I didn't do it. So I think we don't mind as a community, as a culture, to spend money to get the right training because parents don't want to miss out.
Right.
They don't want to miss out.
Skills. But back raw skills, Houston was tough with Rob Williams and they turned out studs, man. Like early 80s, Meachall, Clyde Dressler. We did too. Dallas did too.
Bo, what was the dude at Houston Wheatley that we played?
Eddie Combo, baby.
Eddie Combo, yes. Couldn't think of his name. I wanted to say it was Combs, but yeah, Combo. Man, that was a killer. Damn.
Well, look at the street guys. Hey, look at the street guys come from Houston. Look at Playground Legend. Never played high school ball. Come up here and give everybody the business in the pro-am.
Who?
Playground. You ain't never heard of Playground?
Dwayne.
Yeah. Dwayne Rogers.
Yeah, we lost Big Rod, but you're good. What was Playground's name, man? I can't remember his name. Rogers. Yes. Yeah.
So, Houston played everywhere. They had Dallas too, but Houston was bigger. I think Dallas was more football when I first got here. They had talent. If Houston was more basketball, and now I think it's kind of Dallas is balanced out. It's football and basketball,
man. Yeah. Okay. So I was just curious on this. One of the hot topics of today, in the basketball world right now, Rod. I know you're out. You're not in town as much here now, but the media the media game has exploded. Everybody, there's a lot of media guys now. What is your, I don't know if you pay attention on Twitter or not. is that more helpful for you know for kids these days here in the DFW, or what's your thoughts about that as far as exposure is concerned?
I just think, you know, from the years that I was in it, Cade Cunningham doesn't need exposure locally.
No doubt.
RJ Hampton, Tyrese Maxey, those guys don't.
Yeah.
Because they're on a national level.
Right.
Why don't we bring the 2 stars, the 3 stars, those guys more media coverage? You know,
right.
there's not a guy in Dallas that doesn't think Cade Cunningham's gonna go number 1. You know, so he's going to get the national love. But there may be a guy at Pinkston. May be a guy somewhere that needs what you got. Do a profile on him every once in a while. Because guess what? If he gets a full ride to Southeast Oklahoma and he gets his bachelor's and goes on to get his master's and becomes athletic director at Green Hill High School, you're doing that for 30, 40 years. You straight just like an NBA player. Right, you can take care of yourself at the end of the day.
Okay.
Some of these guys that we're giving all this pub to locally, we're just doubling up on because they're getting all the national love.
Yeah. And I agree. I definitely agree with that. St. Louis, you know, on your end, St. Louis, when you were coming up, there wasn't a whole lot of media. What do you think of where you were at in your time to what it is now? I mean,
I think in some cases, I think it's in some cases it could be a curse because a lot of these guys are overhyped and it hadn't been proven.
Yes, exactly.
And we already call it. I mean, I don't have anything against Cunningham. He has a nice game, but how do you make him the first pick of the NBA draft and he ain't even hit the college floor yet? I mean, that's ridiculous. Yeah. I think some of this stuff is ridiculous the way they are ranking these guys.
That's the narrative because his story is great because he didn't go to a blue blood and he didn't, you know, do all the fanfare. He went there because guess what? The NCAA wants you to go to college.
Yeah.
They want you to go to college. They don't want you to go to Australia. They don't want you to go to G League. And if this overtime league comes into play and all these kids start going there, they're going to say, hey, NBA, do not draft a kid from this league. They have the power to do that.
I respect Cunningham. I think he's a top 10, but I like Green, man. That would be my first pick in the NBA. Green.
Well, I think it's going to come down to team. It's going to come down to team right now.
Yeah.
It's going to come down to team.
I guess I'm one of the minority on this about Cade being the number 1 pick. And of course I don't have that you know, time to make that decision or that opportunity to make that decision. And my career is not on the line on that. But I just have a hard time picking guys that don't win, you know, that don't know how to win. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, that what I'm saying is, you know, I know some of your haters, Bo, would say, well, shoot, you love RJ. You know, RJ didn't win, you know, but RJ never really had guys around him. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen with Cade. And that you know, I said this a couple of weeks on Twitter. You know, I was a little concerned about his ability to be able to lead, you know, a group of stars. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't know if I would say he's number 1. Both of you guys got some great points about, you know, what media is really, you know, about today as far as how it helps and how it can hurt. And because again, there are kids that are overhyped. And I've said it, you know, and I kind of think
I'm saying that, Paul, on a local level. If we try to get these kids in school, you know, the top guys gonna be on the front page of Overtime Slam and all that every single day. They're producing the videos that we're producing. They're actually local guys are taking these videos that are on Slam. Yeah.
Agreed on that. I agree on that. I like that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, when I first got in the game, and Bo, you've watched me make my climb to where I am in this media game now. To, you know, you saw it from the beginning. And the thing about it was, I didn't think that we had enough coverage to be able to hit home with exactly what you said, Rod, about covering the 2 stars, the 3 stars, and helping getting them some love to generate some exposure for those kind of guys. And I said, well, that's because we don't have enough, you know, that's doing this. You know what I'm saying? You got to have more people in different regions. You know, it turned out I said anybody could do it, and right now it's turned out that everybody is trying to do it, right? It's just we're all in the same geographic region. You know what I'm trying to say? And it's not really, it's not really helping as much because we're all writing about, guess who? The same dudes. You know, this weekend here, I swear I looked at everybody's Twitter and everybody's website, and all you saw was Keontae George, who definitely deserved to be, talked about because the performance he had, Rob, was unbelievable. You brought up the 41 points. That was against that was against Pro Skills. He goes to the school called iSchool, this new prep school. That's where he used to go to Louisville High School. So
how did Third Kill look? How did Third
Kill was Jason Third Kill looked okay. He's you could tell he's trying to grow into his body right now, if you will. He's been skinny, has been hurt, growing pains and so forth for the last couple of years. So now he's growing into the, what his body is all about right now. So
I think Rob made an excellent point, though, with his son being a 5-star for most of his career and Rob been coaching AAU and going around the country. He's seen 2 and 3 stars who just really training or somebody to get him a chance away from developing to being a great player. So I think if we're saying we're helping the kids, okay, put Keontae on the first page, and then every Wednesday we're gonna do the underrated spotlight. This guy can help. Everybody say, well, this guy can help the program.
Well, if you follow me on Twitter, that's what the Real Talk Nation is already. I'm gonna give you some people that you ain't seen. Now I also got to give you some people that you do know about. You gotta stay afloat. You know what I'm saying?
But what I'm saying though, Keontae and what's the guy with Pro Skills?
Casey Wallace.
I'm gonna click on to see what they did. I'm gonna click on the page, but I also read everything else.
Yeah. And there were some solid performances by many other guys, man. And Gasso, did it a bracket style, NCAA bracket style. You go to the right or go to the left, after your first game. And we haven't had that in a while. St. Louis, I don't know if you have been on the scene with that here lately, but Gasso did a great job with that tournament this weekend. It's really put a lot of pressure on these future tournament holders. Are you trying to say something, Bo? Oh, okay, you on the phone. No, never mind. I got you. And so this week,
they got a good tournament coming up. We got a good one coming up soon.
Not this weekend, but the first weekend of May. Who Wants to Smoke? Put on by Kellen Buffington. TB5 reports and he's gonna have some hot teams in there. Of course, Southern Assault, Dream Vision from Las Vegas is coming down. The Utah Prospects is going to be here. They're another good, exciting 16s and 15s, 17s and 16s. They got a good program coming in, and just a whole slew of games. We might get to see that do-over game, man. Southern Assault against Pro Skills. I kind of felt like. Go ahead.
We'd love for you all to get a St. Louis team down here.
Well, St. Louis ain't really had a team since Jason Tatum left.
Bradley Beal got a squad. Bradley Beal got a franchise. He got a team. Hello.
That's crazy. All right. Come on. I don't know. I'll definitely keep you posted on that. Bo? I got 10 minutes left, man. Give me the skinny, man, on what's life like now as an NBA dad, right? And when you come back home and stuff, man, when you go, what? Man, I'm in. Kick Dallas to the curb. What you doing, man?
No, I'm in Rockwall as we speak. I just got in today.
Okay. Welcome home,
you know what? It's truly a blessing because if you know me, I'm a super giving person.
No doubt.
And guess what? The stuff I did before my son's NBA, I tripled it.
Yeah.
Almost every one of my guys that played for me, I got their Cash App, and every so often, Hey, I'm not sending him 1,000. I may send him 50, 100, or something like that. It's nothing huge, but it just lets you know. Hey, I appreciate you.
No doubt.
I appreciate you because guess what? You were the fabric that helped RJ get there. Because like you said, RJ never played with 5 stars. Yeah. And I told those guys, I said, listen, this team is about my son. I said, but I can guarantee you every coach in America is going to watch you too.
Yeah.
And some of them, it's like Max. I begged him to play for me. I begged him.
Yeah.
Guess what? I don't deserve the credit for nothing he's doing.
I was trying to.
There's been Sports Illustrated, The Athletic has called me, and everything I tell him, that's all on Max. He put in the work. Yeah. He was just one of the 4 or 5 guys I wanted to put around RJ to pass him the ball. I can't lie about that.
No doubt. Okay.
Paul, I got Ron. Paul, I got Ron just called me on the phone. He just left his funeral, so he ready to go. That's both boy. I got Ronnie Nelson, on the phone now.
All right, so this guy says right here, y'all, check this out. I'm gonna put this on the screen. The guy says, oh man, that's too small. Says trying to see what the hype was on Carl Wright cat y'all keep talking about. LOL. Seen some highlights when he was at SMU in '85, and they beat UNC and Dean Smith, Brad Daugherty, and of course Kenny Smith. Oh yeah, dude.
He was a tremendous athlete, man. He was a pro.
Yeah.
He could have got
close to that.
Yeah, they were rating him one in the nation. He could have played in the NBA easy. 10 years off his defense alone.
Yeah.
His brother was a player. He just played out of position. He was a 2-guard playing power forward. But Carl Wright was something special. He ran a 9.45 and 100 and could jump and quick feet.
But Paul, no, if for the young guys, if you think Bracy Wright was really good, his dad was 10 times better than Bracy.
Oh yeah.
And on my end, I was decent. We have sons who are, your son, Paul, 10 times better than you. Not probably in baseball, but in basketball.
Why would you? You see my hand right now, right? Wait, when I get this.
Yeah. But
I got one disrespectful finger.
Another thing I'm setting up after the pandemic, I'm getting all the.
I'm getting both.
I'm getting me, Maxie, Avery, Eron. We're all new NBA dads. We got to sit down and chop it up because I'm in contact with Trae Young's dad all the time. Those guys, I'm in contact with John Morant's dad. It's like a cheat sheet. They tell you, they tell you what's going to go on. And I've never been in this position before. And I'm lucky to be in it. I don't want to spoil it for myself. I don't want my son to spoil it for him. I still got to. And the one thing they tell me, which my wife and we all do, I'm going to keep parenting RJ till I can't parent him anymore.
No doubt.
I'm still his parent. He just called me 5 minutes ago. The game just ended. Dad, what you think? Hey, man, you ain't going to make shots every night. You playing against Zach LaVine. You're not going to make shots every. You had a good floor game. They're not going to fall every night. But you in the league. We good.
Yeah.
That's it. Well, Bo, I got a question for you. Now, Bo, I like you. I gave you high props. I watched you grow 5 inches from your senior year. But I don't think you were quite as athletic as Mr. RJ. And
not at all. Hold on, not at all. But go ahead.
Hey, you can't prove that. You can't prove that.
I got tape.
Yeah,
I can go there.
You my cat.
I was one of the first one with a video camera, Rod.
Yeah.
I don't know if you wanted to see RJ after the maybe when you was a junior at SMU, you really got good, and RJ was probably in the 9th grade. It'd have been a good matchup. But after he got past the 9th grade, Bo, you was in trouble, man. You need a double team.
Yeah. I would have. Paul, what do we do every game? We let the guy come down the middle, and the only white guy on our team, Mike Sullivan, would hit him. We just we say nice. Yeah, the white boy would get him first, and we coming next.
Speaking of no average white boy, that kid. Hey, speaking of no average white boy, that dude.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of Carl, right here, had 4 brothers that could play. Ren was Hall of Fame at A&M. He had another brother 6'9". He had another brother played at La Tech. I mean, he come from an athletic family, man. So
Jay Mills hit another one on here, y'all. Said, hell yeah, I remember Bracy from the colony. Carl is his pops. That's wild. Congrats, Bo, and your son, and all the success. He's special. So we'll make sure that you saw that, Bo. You know, you don't have haters out here after all, like you and I would kind of thought you would have. Hold on, who's this? Yeah, hold on. Let's see this.
That's Rob, man.
What's up, dude? Rod, you see that?
I'm back.
You need some light, bro.
I'm back, Ace.
Yeah.
Oh man. There we go.
There you go. Hey, Rod. All right, so I forgot what the story was between you and St. Louis.
I'm back, Ace.
You got to bring it back, Rod.
Big Rod, my ace. He one of the best perimeter coaches. He just need to work on the bigs, but you give him some guards, they gonna win. Rob know what he's doing. But he couldn't guard me.
Man, I would have killed St. Louis, man.
Don't talk crazy.
St. Louis.
Rob, let's go start all
this. Hey, Rod. When I first got on with him, he was on the show tonight. He got to talking about, about himself, right? And he for the first time ever, I ever heard him talk about the pros and how he didn't make the pros. On the cool, I always thought he probably did make the pros. You know what I'm saying? Because he never spoke to me about it, right? And he said this for the first time. I was like, as much as you always talk about yourself right now, you didn't make the pros.
Paul. It had nothing to do with talent, Paul. Nothing to do with talent.
Okay.
No, sir. Different day, man. No, sir. It had nothing. I've killed many pros, Paul, so it had nothing to do with talent. It's just right place, right time, right? It's not like it is. Like I told you before, they're giving out scholarships like popsicles now, man. And if you got a name, you're going to get a good look.
Hey, he the top 20 all time, didn't make the pros. He top 20 all time.
He top 20.
Who didn't make pros? I would have to go with me, Carl Wright, Bo Hampton.
You can't put you in there, man. You're not from here, St. Louis.
Oh, okay, not from Dallas. Well, a lot of them made pro, but man, that's a tough one. You got people like Daryl Joe could have got there. I think what he did with other.
I agree with you, Ace. They giving away
Headache played pro, so I'm not gonna mention Headache because he played in the pro.
Let's see. You top 20 who didn't make pro.
Who?
We can't count him, Rod, because he's not from Dallas, bro.
Right situation. We didn't even deal with them Fort Worth dude. Daryl Prada could have had a little pro run.
All right, so look. All right, so we got a few minutes left, man. Bo.
Yo.
What's next for you in DFW, bro? What you got coming? I know you snuck a little event in on me last year. What you got coming this year, man? Anything on the horizon?
Yeah, I got the I just started a 3 teams, RJ Hampton Elite, AAU. And I just started that. But we just getting off the ground. I'm not trying to be on Front Street, I'm using the same formula. I got a 12-year-old that, he wants to go the same path. He worked once, so I'm gonna try it again. It may work, it may not.
Who you got running it as far as the coaching and all? Are you still trying to coach or no?
Yeah, I got to coach my son. That's my job.
Man, you can get Rod, man.
Huh?
You need to get Rod.
No, you gotta understand. I'm gonna coach my son until he get in 9th grade. Then I'm gonna find some goons and put him with. Right? I see Rod team every weekend.
But Bo got a plan. He know it works.
And then I'm doing the the RJ Hampton showcase again.
Okay.
And we're going to expand it from, I think we had 8 teams to about 16 teams.
Okay.
And and I think like I say, Stacy is running it. Stacy Houston again is putting it all together. But I know You know, from what he said, we should have done. We got all the heavy hitters: Duncanville, Kimball, all those guys. My college roommate Gerald Lewis, who just won the state championship at St. Aug in New Orleans, they'll be here.
Okay.
And I'm trying to get Mike Miller's coaching the team out of Memphis, Houston High School. They just won the state championship.
Okay.
So just, I mean, I want to do it on the platform like John Wall. Again, it's for charity. We're not making no money. We want to put the guys out there to showcase Dallas talent. Like you said, man, we're a hotbed for talent. And let's find the next Tyrese Maxey. Why not? He's gonna be right there, and we can see him. And hope Dallas can get behind these guys.
Yeah. Well, I just think, honestly speaking to you, and I told you this when you snuck it in on us, because we've got a whole new shift in how this media thing is going. You know what I'm saying? This whole media game is suddenly just, guys supporting certain things, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm trying to say? And so I think this time around, I think you'll have a better support, because I don't think everybody's trying to do at that same weekend. I think y'all had like 3 guys trying to do that one weekend. Then turned out one of the guys, actually y'all did have 3 guys. One of the guys ended up canceling. And, so that made it a whole lot difficult to work with.
Well, with COVID, it actually worked out better for us because we weren't having the state teams, the UIL teams. We had a lot of homeschool, and I'm real close to Prestonwood. They came in there and did a good job. So hopefully this year, man. But with me, I don't get into that on the weekend. I'm gonna try to put on the best show I can and keep it moving.
Well, y'all had nice talent, man.
Yeah, and I didn't get the 10. I was at I forget whose event that was that I was at that weekend. I know I did buffs on Friday, but something happened on that Saturday, because I was on the phone with you on that. No, something happened that weekend for me.
You did something. You call me, but again, man, Dallas is just it's rising with media and kids, and if you do it the right way, if you do it for good, it's gonna be, and everybody can get a piece of the pie.
And it's coming. And I think a lot of people now, the same people that, for instance, I was fighting with, are starting to see it now. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa for me. I'm seeing some different things. You know what I'm saying? With the people that I was fighting against. So I think next year, coming into the school year, I think is going to be a lot better. Because it's no doubt the amount of coverage that we have now, and it's unmatched right now. You know what I'm saying? So now we got to start really putting everything together to make sure that we're supporting each other, and and what we're all trying to get done on this. Because again, this is all about exposure for the kids, not for my pockets, not for Rod's pockets, not for so and so pocket. This all at the end of the day is for the kids.
I agree with that.
But you know what? And I just thought of something. I challenge you media guys, because a lot of you media guys have services, right, that you get paid on, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why don't we get 10 media guys together, or all the media guys here, and you guys put on an event?
All right.
That's how you do it.
I'm not in the event. I am doing an event now. That's in August. That's with but
I'm not saying you're in the event business. I'm just saying all the media guys who sit front row, who have cameras, who have notepads, you guys get together and you choose somebody or a couple people in that group to run the event, and you bring the guys you want to see.
That's a good idea.
It's not Showtime's event. It's not BU's event. It's not Pro Skills event. Hey, Dallas Media presents.
Right.
Well, I would love to see that.
I'm going to end up talking to you about. That's an off the call. That's an off the air conversation I'm going to have with you about that, because I actually am doing something like that right now.
Exactly.
To where, like, for for instance, my event in Austin is for the top teams. Right. And we're paying media guys to come. We're paying for their hotel fees. We're paying their traveling costs. So, God damn it, Bo, you're always in my damn head, man.
Hey, holla at me.
So anyway, that's going to be an off the screen conversation that I got to have with you on that. But that's called The Best in Texas, August 20th. And so we're right now collectively putting together, everybody's compiling everybody's records right now so far, and then we're going to keep it going until around June or July and announce which teams kind of made it. I'm going to end up doing an AAU ranking now, if you will, 17s, 16s, and 15s based off of records and so forth. So, and then have, like we're doing tonight, have round table discussions with some of these directors and so forth, talking about that and why we think, you know what I'm saying, and have some of the media guys come on as well. So a lot of stuff changing here in the DFW, man, since you've been here. I know that's only been a couple of years, if you will, that we're trying to get established and so forth. So, I think you're going to end up liking it. It's good seeing you here. Hear you coming back with your own program again, man. I kind of missed the old Jimmy Tubb style of coaching where we stop with that foot. God damn it, get on, come here. Yeah. I still miss it. You won't be on the bus, come here. So I still, I was like, God damn it, that ain't Jimmy Tubbs' son. Every time I see you coach, man, you just make me think of Tubbs on and God bless.
But with anything, you're a product of your environment.
Yeah, you're all right. You're all right on that. Rod, any parting shots before we end this?
Nah, man, just keep this Dallas thing going, man, because I love what's going on here in Dallas as far as everything. Right. We got the talent, we got the media guys, we got, like Bo say, man, we got the media guys. I just want y'all to, like you say, get to the back gyms, man. Get to the 2, 1 and 2, make a 1-star, 2-star. You know what I mean? Let's help do that. Other than that, man, I got an event going on November 14th weekend. Bo, okay. I need your team there. November 14th weekend, it's me and Josh do it. It's called a Thanksgiving class.
Josh who?
And
Josh who?
We do that every year. Josh Woodson.
Shut the front door. You and Josh?
We just did the first. Yeah, we did the first one last year, and it was successful, man. So
man, that's
we're
awesome.
Gonna keep that going every year. We do.
That's awesome.
We do it from 5th grade out. We go 3rd grade all the way to 8th grade. So I need you there, Bo.
No doubt.
I'm here.
That's awesome. All right, Bo. Any parting shots for you?
We gonna be here by night, man.
Okay. Okay.
Man, you know what? It's just I'm good. Dallas, I'm starting to get back out in the AAU world. And I just, and Rod, Paul, I'm going to say this. It's never the kids. It's always the parents, including me. Okay. Sometimes I look at people I'm coaching against on the stands. Yeah. I say, I used to be that stupid-ass dude over there getting out of control.
No doubt.
We all have. So, and it's mostly, it's not from a malicious place. It's just passion on my part.
No doubt.
It's passion.
No doubt.
But we can easily pick the dudes who not doing it for right. That's what I want to tell you guys who not doing. Don't think you fooling us.
Yeah.
Do not think you fool, because sometimes I shake you and dab you up and keep it moving because I know you're not for right. No, but you'll never get in my circle.
Right.
Yeah. Awesome.
The same thing.
I agree with that. That's 100% right there.
It's just like Rod. What you do in your day to day, you at work on the phone doing this. You got to be doing it for right. Because you're taking up your supervisor right around the corner. Yeah. And if one kid gets a blessing to the NBA, that's really a blessing. But you got the G League is paying $600,000 on a 2-way.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
You can go overseas and see the world and make you some change. Because if you got a head start of a couple $100,000 in your pocket, I know both of y'all, and you know me. We didn't have that. I didn't have no head start.
No doubt.
So I appreciate you, man. I got to get off here, man. If you need me, holler at me.
All right. Bo, definitely on short notice, man. Definitely appreciate you coming on. You my dude, man. Love you forever, dude. Come up, throw your K up. Rod, thank you again coming on, man. I'm going to disconnect both of y'all, man. I'll be talking to both of y'all at another time. Rod, be careful on them roads, man.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for coming on, bro. All right, there he is, man. My dudes, man. Rod Taylor, Dallas Mustangs. Bo Hampton, man. Bo Hampton, my dude, former SMU Kimball Night Star. You know, dad of RJ Hampton. Awesome stuff there, man. And how can we forget my man, KELVIN Peterson, St. Louis, y'all. Great dude. Barbershop style, y'all. Next week, we're going to have, if I'm not mistaken on here, we've got a hot show next week that's going to have Pro Skills director, CEO, my dude, your dude, Jeff Webster, coming on. I also think we have Team Griffin. Oh, I'm sorry, not Team Griffin. Team Trey Young. We're also going to have Derrick Shelby on after or before. I don't know which one yet. We haven't set the lineup up yet. So we're looking at both of them coming on next week, and I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, Rayford Young is going to be coming on the show as well. So we're going to talk about that, what both of those programs are up to and so forth. 2 weeks from there, we've decided we're going to hit the international flavor and really get to the bottom of this international scene now. You know, you got these young men that are playing for professional teams / non-professional teams. You got kids playing in the pro leagues but not getting paid. So we're doing our little due diligence on that. We got people that's going to come in and kind of clear the air up, man, because I don't know the whole game as far as the international players coming here to play in these high schools, these prep schools, if you will. And so we've got some guys that are going to come on and talk, both sides of that fence. I know you guys have been seeing some of the stuff on Twitter right now on that. So we've got some guys that are really working for the international guys, and we got some guys that are looking at trying to say, hey, I don't know if this is right, so we're gonna be on both sides of the fence on this one in 2 weeks. So and I'm doing 2 weeks because we had already had the show scheduled with Pro Skills and Team Trey Young for that week. So the next week we'll be going off into that, and then it's going to give all of us time to be able to make sure that we got all our due diligence in order as far as saying what we know and what we don't know. You're saying try to clear the air about what you don't know. So hopefully, like I said, this show is going to be more instrumental about that. As I told y'all before, and I said this on Twitter today, we're going to talk about everything to do with basketball. I'm not even going to focus on football. We're not even talking about baseball. We're not even going to talk about politics. This is a show that's going to be dedicated to just basketball, period. We want to help you parents with special topics, special conversations. We want to talk. We want to give you an opportunity to talk with pro players, ask questions. How did they make it? What was the secrets? And is there any special kind of sauce? What did they do? You know what I'm saying? Did they exercise a different way? Did they eat certain things? We're going to try to go through all that. Referees, I said this today. I said this today on Twitter. We're even going to talk with referees, and shout out to the Chop Shop for having that kind of discussion today with a couple of referees. I definitely think that there's still more to come with regarding the life of a referee in AAU sports versus high school, and so on. So there's still a lot of meat left on the bone for that. So don't fret. Trust me, I always gonna come back with something different because again, we are the Real Talk Nation, trying to give you something new, something fresh. We're always going to keep it different from all the rest. I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. Like I said, it's a little, like I said, it's a little barbershop talk, a little bit about some of the best players that have come out here to give you a history of Dallas basketball. And like I said, this show is going to move forward, week by week. And we might be adding another night onto the show now because I kind of want to spend more time talking about the tournaments of the weekend, or better yet, during the week, during high school ball, so I can chop down, throw highlights on here, talk about players of the week. And speaking of player of the week, earlier I talked about Jordan Walsh being one of my top performers, along with Keon Williams this weekend. Cam Ambery for 3D Hoops Academy, the Empire, kind of stumbled a little bit. They lost a big game, the Drive Nation. Real tight game, man. Definitely was a good one. Cam Ambery shot the ball very well this weekend. Shout outs to him. But my player of this week undoubtedly has to go to, as I told you, another kid that I've been pushing buttons, because I really want to see the best. And I'm going to push and push till he keeps bringing the best. And because I don't feel like we have in this media game, we got too many yes men in this media game. And we don't have enough guys that's going to tell it like it needs to be told, as far as helping these coaches and these parents with their kids become better at what they're doing, and because we've seen a lot of players. I know I've seen a lot of players, and I only want to see the kids do the best. So with that said, Keontae George was extraordinary especially in the game against Pro Skills. Man, his 41 point performance was off the chain. I say that a little bit with my tongue in my cheek on that, because we've been talking about Cason Wallace versus Keontae, and one thing that I was real impressed with about Keontae was the showmanship, the attitude. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to get at somebody, that's been trying to get at me. Now let's, ain't no. It was almost like he was saying, "Ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun." You know what I'm saying? And I look at all the videos. You see all the videos on Twitter and so forth, and it just looked like that's what he wants to say. And I know he made a quote after hitting a 3-pointer on Cason Wallace. And by the way, I was saying tongue in my cheek was I didn't like the way Pro Skills did not allow, Cason to go at him, to be one-on-one with him on both ends. Now, I got to say this. Keontae George guarded Cason the majority of the game. You know what I'm saying? And I just wish that Cason was given that opportunity on the other end. Sometimes you got to let a thoroughbred be a thoroughbred, is what I like to say. And you got to let him roam. You got to let him do things, and so, I'm going to chalk that up as, it's brand new. I mean, I won't say it's brand new. It's earlier in the AAU season. Pro Skills only had two weeks of practices, and that's not every day. That's probably 4 days of practice. So I got to be a little, tongue in cheek, if you will, about, saying, Keontae should be the number one player, because one game didn't make Cason the number one player in the state. So it's your body of work now, and we want to see that match up more. Hopefully, Pro Skills and Southern Assault, continue that on, because I think them playing each other makes them better, for, when they got to deal with Peach Jam or the Gauntlet or whatever the Adidas is doing with Southern Assault. So shout outs to Keontae George for that performance. It was truly amazing. But I forgot when he hit that 3-pointer and he got fouled. you know, he turns back and he looks at Gasso. The guy's right at midcourt, and I was standing over there a little bit with him, you know, and he was like, y'all playing with my ranking. You know, this is my city. I was like, oh. Now, forgive me for being in that moment. That doesn't say I'm waffling on who I still think is the number one player. I mean, this race is still going right now, y'all, believe it or not. And it's not over. And, you know, all I'm saying is, you know, you're going just like this, and you're going like this. Now you're coming back. So, you know, enjoy the race, man. That was one battle. You know what I'm saying? And I think out of the head-to-head matchups that we've been keeping track right now, that's now 2-1 in favor of Kaysen right now, you know, with my boy finally getting a victory on here. So hopefully that battle keeps going. You know, Larry Bird had Magic Johnson, right? Everybody, you know, needs that other dude. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully, you know, the grown folks can let these two guys do their thing. So congratulations, Keontae and Southern Assault for winning on the state by Gasso. Shout out to all the guys at Gasso for the great tournament that they put on. Oh my goodness. You know, I don't know if that one can be duplicated. I will say Who Want the Smoke is coming around the corner, and you know, if you know Buff like I do, y'all better look out. So it's going to be interesting. So tournament of the year is really kind of up for grabs right now, man, and so we'll see. All right, so don't forget, y'all that are watching me on Facebook Live and Twitter, go subscribe on the YouTube channel, The Real Talk Nation. That's DA. That's D as in David, A as in Apple. Real Talk Nation. So go subscribe on that so we can build our following up and so forth, man, and start to do things, you know, in the community a little bit more. Because again, you know, I work for a living. This ain't nothing to make me no money off of. So I'm hoping to be able to create some other lanes for other people with this YouTube following. So let's get it done. Let's get it going out there, man. Again, I'm Paul Miranda with The Real Talk Nation. Again, I appreciate you coming on with us tonight. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next week. We out. We out.